We bring in former U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Daalder, and Dmitri, Alperovitch, former special advisor to the Department of Defense and expert in Vladimir Putin. Gentlemen, appreciate you both being here. Dmitri, you listened to the intro. If you turned off Vladimir Putin's access to sell oil, how long would it take the Russian economy to fully collapse?
Well, I don't think they'll fully collapse, in part because of China. China is going to continue to buy oil from Russia. They need that oil. So you're going to have some revenue loss for Russia for sure. Their economy is going to contract this year massively, but it's not going to collapse completely.
Ambassador, would you agree with the assessment of others that cutting off the oil supply would be a move that Putin did not calculate into his cost that he knew he was going to have to pay for invading Ukraine?
I'm sure he didn't calculate it, but he didn't calculate the sanctions that he got so far either. A couple of things. One, of course, is that since the financial sanctions have been put in place, when we pay euros or dollars for gas or natural gas, those euros and dollars are not convertible to rubles, so they're not particularly useful immediately for the economic situation. So they're already hurting. In some sense. Second, I actually am of the opinion that within a matter of days, we will see Europe and the United States ban the import of natural gas and oil. I think as soon as the situation in Ukraine gets even worse, which it likely will be with massive bombardments of cities and the strangulation and sieging of cities that we're likely to see, I think that will be the reaction. I don't think we're ready to go in militarily, but we're ready to suffer even at a price here at home.
Yeah, well, you make a great point in terms of we're not ready to go in militarily, and the president has been pretty clear on that. You can agree or disagree with him telegraphing what was and what was not his red lines. Dmitri, this was Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister earlier, now the third threat of nuclear war by the Russians in 10 days. Take a listen.
Всем понятно, что Третья мировая может быть только ядерной. Но обращаю ваше внимание, что это в голове западных политиков постоянно вертится ядерная война.
World War III can only be nuclear. You've studied Vladimir Putin, Dmitri. Is he capable of that?
Well, he's capable if he feels like he's threatened, like his life is threatened, that Russia is threatened. But I don't think he'll be the one to initiate it without that explicit threat. I think he's a very rational guy. He's a killer. He's a horrible individual, an evil man, but he's not crazy and he's not suicidal. So I don't think he will launch nukes unless he thinks that NATO is about to invade Russia or impact the safety of his regime.
Now, the video you're seeing is not of a nuclear weapon. It's what they call a thermobaric or a vacuum bomb that looks like a mushroom cloud and is designed to just kill large parts of civilian populations by collapsing their lungs. Real quick, Ambassador, you were part of the Obama-Biden administration back in 2014. Take a listen to Jen Psaki talking about the last time we went through this in Ukraine. Okay, we don't have that. She said, I was at the State Department. The president was the vice president the last time Russia invaded. This is a pattern of horror that this president, President Putin, and from the cronies around him. Ambassador, if there is a lesson that the White House has not taken into account that should have been learned from 2014, what was it? Or is it?
Well, first, I was no longer in government in 2014, but I did serve in the Obama-Biden administration. I think that the lesson that we have learned now is that we need to inflict pain on the Russians. The kind of sanctions that we're implementing right now are deeply hurtful of the Russian economy, and the kind of weapons that we are sending in to the Ukrainians and helping them defend themselves. We have trained the Ukrainian military for the past 8 years. That's made a difference. But importantly, it's the anti-tank weapons and the anti-aircraft weapons that are making a difference, which, by the way, Vice President Biden was in favor of sending to the Ukrainians even back in 2014, as were many members of the administration. Others, including the president, were not.
Yeah, no, I was there in 2014 on the ground with the Ukrainians begging for the help the same way they're begging for a no-fly zone now, and I remember the frustration. Dmitri, my friend Mike Allen pointed out Sun Tzu, the great Chinese general, said you always have to give your enemy the golden bridge, the way out to save face. Is there a way out of this conflict for Vladimir Putin that preserves NATO and its strength and doesn't humiliate him?
Well, I think at this point, he would probably take a deal where he gets not everything that he wants. Of course, at a maximum, he wants a change of government in Ukraine. Zelensky toppled, a pro-Russian puppet installed that would bring Ukraine back into Russia's sphere of influence. I think he would probably concede on that point now, having encountered unexpectedly heavy resistance from the Ukrainian population. But he will still want, at a minimum, recognition of Crimea as Russian. He would want a permanent foregoing of accession to NATO for Ukraine. And he would probably want some sort of demilitarization of Ukraine as well. And that's just not something that Zelensky will be able to politically provide to him, or that he wants to provide to him.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as though the United States would support that either. Hey, gentlemen, I really appreciate it. This was a great way to start the show, and a thoughtful and sober conversation. Can't think of two better men to do it with. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.